this up, Michael. We're going to do a segment that I call generic questions.
Let's
Those of
go.
you that have seen my interviews before, when I used to ask my guests the questions they might be asked on social media, such as Michael's favourite match, favourite pay-per-view cards, such as Double or Nothing 2019, favourite wrestler's entrance theme, favourite tag team, and favourite wrestler. So basically, Michael will now have a place to be like, look, I've answered this. Please go watch this. So what's your favourite match of all time?
Favorite match of all time is Steve Austin versus Bret Hart from WrestleMania 13. It's a masterpiece. There's a lot of discourse at the moment about like match length contributing to match quality, and Steve Austin and Bret Hart is neither too short nor too long. It's out there for the exact amount of time it needs to tell a story, and the story it tells turns out to be one that ultimately defines and redefines an entire organization forever. I believe this in my heart. There is no Attitude Era without that match. There is probably no Stone Cold Steve Austin in the way that he rose without that match. And I don't think I'm yet to see a match that has made me feel quite as much as that did, and still does, by the way. I've probably watched it more than any other match I know, and it still makes me feel. There have been some classics. There have been matches that have taken wrestling forward beyond anything we ever thought possible.
Yeah.
But I love watching, even in 2024, as we record this, I love watching the basics done really well. And that's an illustration of that. You know, it's as good a version of the basics as you'll ever see. A good guy, a bad guy. Then they start to shift a little bit, but there's still a good guy and a bad guy. It's violent, but it's a work, you know, it's like they're not really hurting each other that much. The blood is probably the most effective use of blood that I can think of, certainly in WWE ever. I don't think there is a thing wrong with that match. I can't name a thing wrong about
it. Kevin Shamrock's shorts, but other than that,
no. Yeah, but then he looks so jacked in his spandex referee gear, so I gave him the pass even for that.
Fair enough. What about your favourite pay-per-view card?
I'm going to go with quite a recent one, and it's got a personal bias attached. I'm going to go with WrestleMania 38, Night 1.
Let me guess. It's because you were there.
I was there, right? And it was the first time I'd ever been able to cover a WrestleMania in person, which felt like an achievement unlocked, you know, like a dream. Yeah, WrestleMania 38, Night 1. I was there, and of course there's live biases and the like, but so I was, you know, just in awe of the fact that this is my life, this is my job, this is what an honor this is. But the card was magic. It was like Night 1 in particular. So it was main evented by Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. And that suplex on the floor is just a moment I don't think I'll ever forget, because you felt the whole building go, oh my God, this is real. He's in this now. This is not just 4 punches in the corner and a stunner. This is happening. That man is putting his neck back on the line for this. But it also had on Night 1, it had Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch, and Cody Rhodes is return against Seth Rollins. Like Night 2 couldn't touch it. Ultimately, it was an okay show, but Night 2 could not get anywhere near Night 1 because of how much awesome stuff they put on it.
That's very, very cool, my friend. What about your favorite wrestler's entrance theme?
Oh, man. Changes all the time, this, because there's so many, like there's timeless ones. Like the Warrior was great, the NWO was great. I love Diesel's music, like his 95 music. Thought the Undisputed Eras was such a timestamp. Like an Undisputed Era entrance in that takeover period was just electrifying. Do you know what? I'm going to go with one because I get the buzz and the goosebumps just as much now when I hear it as I did when he first came back in AEW. I'll go with CM Punk's. Because it's like, obviously you've got like the little variations where, so when he used like the Ring of Honor one for Revolution in 2022, or people really like This Fire Burns for like WWE run, and I think they're fantastic. But when Cult of Personality drops, it's just, I associate it with Punk, who is kind of currently still my favorite guy to watch, and I know I'm in for a great time when it hits.
That's very, very cool. What about your favorite tag team?
Favorite tag team? Oh, that's a difficult one. I'll go with, See, I think FTR. I think FTR, but if anything, I think it more for the revival run. Like I was privileged to be there for the first ever FTR Briscoes match.
Oh yeah.
Like the first of the trilogy. And it was, well, it was just like nothing I'd ever seen live as far as tag matches go. But yeah, like because of my treasured memories of the revival in that NXT period as well, like they were at the heart of that tag team rebirth. And the matches they're so consistent. And I would say they've got like a 95% hit rate of banger matches especially when the big ones come around. So yeah, like the gimmick can get a little bit tiring sometimes, but the matches just constantly stick up for themselves. So I say FTR.
And then finally, the biggest generic question, in my opinion, Michael, who is your favorite wrestler? You alluded to him, but who is your favorite?
It's Bret Hart, and it probably always will
Oh,
be.
not where I thought we was going. I thought you was going to say Punk.
Like I love. Well, if it's a now, it's a CM Punk. If it's a then, or for WWE parlance, forever, it's a Bret. So yeah, right now it's the Punker. I love him. I think he's the difference between, for my personal taste, if a show or a night can be a 10. I joked recently on a podcast, but it wasn't really joking. I wish I'd traveled from England to New Orleans to watch that promo showdown with Cody Rhodes.
Oh
And
yeah.
like I regret not just spending an absolute fortune on flights and accommodation to go, because it was magic. And obviously he's just been injured at the Royal Rumble, and you don't know when he's going to be back again. And I was there for Samoa Joe at Wembley. Just one of the best live experiences I've ever had. So it's the Punker right now of all time. Like it's Bret. Bret was the wrestler that shaped my taste more than any other wrestler. And I just think I'm very, very curious when this current crop of top guys, top in-ring guys, Brian, Kenny, who else would I include? I would include Punk, but I know people wouldn't. But when a certain crop of wrestlers retire and how their matches age, I'll be looking to
Like
see.
Bret Hart.
I'll be looking to see if they age as well as Bret's, because Bret's work, like you still can't find a gap in it. Honestly, like it's as good today as it ever was. And the more wrestling evolves, the more you look for the timeless quality of a Hitman match. And I think that's like, I still think he's the bar. I think he's the ceiling of all of this.
That's very, very cool, my friend.